Smuggling of weapons and drugs from across the border is a common thing in Punjab, but this year something alarming has happened. There has been a 5 times increase in the recovery of weapons, including the deadly assault rifles AK-47s from across the border. In the under investigation Crime Show with Jupinderjit, we are going to discuss this issue with an esteemed guest. He is Mr. Amit Prasad, ADGP Counterintelligence. This is a wing. These are the officers who remain behind curtains, पर्दे के पीछे. And today, so he accepted our request to discuss this issue. This is paramount to maintain peace in Punjab. Sir, welcome to our show.
Thank you so much, Jupinderjit.
Sir, let me start with the main question. What does this mean, sir? So many weapons which are coming from Pakistan, and why do we say 5 times increase?
See, number one, to answer your question, why it is happening? You see, this is not a new phenomenon. Weapons coming in from Pakistan. We are all fully aware of the fact that Pakistan has been trying to create trouble in Punjab as a part of its K2 formula, which is Kashmir Khalistan. It has been stoking the fire, and one of the very, very important aspect of that is to push in arms, that to militant hardware, as we call it.
Militant hardware.
Militant hardware, because it is meant for purposes which are clearly aimed at orchestrating terror attacks in the country, particularly in Punjab when we are talking about. So there lies the importance of the thing. Earlier in the 1980s, before the fencing along the international border was erected, one could cross over to Pakistan and one could bring these kind of sophisticated weapons, which it would include the AK series of weapons, the hand grenades, RPGs, and so many other things. Now, the similar kind of thing we have been witnessing for the last few years, and there has been an upscaling over the years, and there is a very vigorous attempt on their part to cause disturbance, communal disturbance, particularly leading so that Punjab gets disturbed. The importance of Punjab lies in the strategic sphere,
Right.
and that is why they have been stoking it.
Like, sir, the data with us is that about 363 weapons this year, but 81 were recovered last year.
These are small firearms, so this doesn't include the automatic weapons and the grenades, hand grenades, and the IEDs which have been coming in. So, why the figure of 362 small firearms? Right. This is not mostly meant. A part of it may be meant for terror activities, but mostly what we see is, and which is an alarming trend, that it is meant for sale.
For sale?
For sale of these weapons in Punjab mostly. Now, how does it help them? That is our adversaries. One, they are generating money from this, right? Second
so
is
it's a trade for them.
There's a twin objective to it. Okay. One is, of course, to raise money. The second is, very importantly, that it gets spreads across, and it is adding to the criminality. Now, supposing there is a local dispute, right? There may be a fist fight or whatever, but now what you will see is that with these weapons coming in, there is increase in the violent crimes, right? It could be limited to between two groups or two individuals, or in various other ways in terms of extortion, carrying the threat out, and the gang wars that is happening. I mean, there are two sets of gangsters, for example, but how can they have that kind of clash without these weapons? So that is why, as you might have noticed, that there has been an uptrend in that kind of crime also, and it is directly being abetted by this kind of activity.
But sir, till now we have been reading that the gangsters were getting weapons from Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, the Agra, and Meerut.
That is also a source of weapon supply for them. However, those weapons are not that sophisticated, as these weapons are, that is coming from Pakistan. And this year what we see is that more than, because we have been very successful in kind of blocking the ingress from Madhya Pradesh and all these, from other places also, Meerut, Madhya Pradesh, certain areas in Madhya Pradesh, and of course from Bihar also, that there are certain parts which are known to be producing this kind of thing. But this year it has been mostly from Pakistan, and a very, as you rightly said, that there has been a 5 times increase in the number of weapons that have been confiscated or recovered
by the police.
But they may be much more than what we have recovered, and it is getting manifested in the recoveries that we make after a crime is committed. In when the accused are arrested, the weapons that are recovered from them, most of them are foreign made, right?
Which kind of weapons are these, sir?
These are Ziganas, Star Mark, Glock, and all of foreign origin. So
Turkey and
Zigana is from Turkey.
Yeah.
So the branding says that the branding is there, and the kind of, so mostly it is 9 mm and 30 bore. Importantly, along with it, they are also sending cartridges, right? I mean, and that too in good quantity, I would say. So that you are not dependent upon pilferage from within the country. It is easy to, because a weapon without a cartridge has no meaning. Right.
So it's a full package which they are
It is a full package which is coming in.
So, sir, who is making money? The smugglers, the Pakistani agencies?
Of course, cross-border smugglers are involved in it, but this kind of rampant activity cannot take place without state being complicit in it. I mean, where is the crackdown on that side? It is coming very freely, and many a times we see that PIOs, the Pak intelligence operatives, are involved in it. From the interrogation and from the investigation, it becomes clear that there is complicity.
And sir, have you been able to identify the potential targets, the individuals for who these weapons were meant?
Yes, I mean, if you're talking about small firearms, that is for criminality. But if you're talking about the militant hardware, then of course, as you saw last year, what happened was there were a series of attacks on the police stations and police grenade attacks. In a few cases, IEDs were also laid, and so there is a concerted effort to demoralize the police force in Punjab. That is there, but besides this, individual officers are also being targeted, right? But besides all these two things, there are various other targets. I mean, which is aimed at kind of creating a communal rift also, so as to say, creating a sense of unease, law and order, disturbance of law and order and public safety. So all those things are there, and vital installations are always, the railway infrastructure, and so there is a wide gamut which has been there, and that has been very consistent over the years.
So, sir, how do this smuggling take place? We have our security forces, we have fence, we have now Punjab Police second line of defense, we have CCTVs.
Mostly now, I mean, the entire nation is aware that drones have become the dominant mode of cross-border delivery. So what it has done is, to an extent, it has made the fencing redundant in that sense, right? Absolutely. Not in every sense, but in that sense. Now, that doesn't mean that traditional routes of cross-border delivery, like for example through riverine patches. Right. Recently, in Fazilka, there was a haul of 27 small firearms were recovered, followed by another 18 by the local police. Right. Right. So that is also happening. So riverine patches would be mostly exploited during the rainy season, but otherwise it is mostly through drones.
Through drones. So they sent it, and it is dropped somewhere.
Yes, I mean, there is a sender and there is a receiver. Right. Mostly it would be a cross-border smuggler. They have been having their nexus, and there are a huge number of them, right? So some of them are identified, we keep surveillance of them, and then some of them are joining, so as to say, this this illegal trade. So we keep a very sharp eye on all such elements,
The receivers.
the receivers, and then such things are again, once it is received, and many a times it's a composite package of narcotics and weapons. Narcotics is then used for in furtherance of spreading that narcotic trade and generating money out of this, and then weapons, if it is meant for militant purposes, then it is set up at a place where somebody else will pick up. So they use cutouts so that if one of them is arrested, then it is difficult to determine the backward and forward linkages. So that is the kind of tactics that the enemy employs. But yes, we also do our best.
So, sir, among the receivers, who are these youth, these men? What is their motive? Is it just to supply it further to someone? Do you recall? Can you share some example with us, some case which you felt that this youth is just misled by the lure of the weapon?
Mostly these youths are being exploited.
Right.
The lure of money being there. They are couple of things that happens. They are being allured into the trap that such and such amount of money will be sent to you, for which can be a very huge amount. Ultimately, at the end of the day, a very minuscule amount would come to them.
Oh, this is to carry out a strike.
Yes, because use and throw. Second is the allurement of sending them abroad and settling them abroad. So that is also an allurement that they use. These are some of the tactics that they use. But for example, in an attack, RPG attack in police station Sarhali, there were several youths that we found. Quite a few of them were underage. They were not even adults, so adolescents. So we deliberately decided that they were not even aware of the tasking at hand. So somebody was used to, there's a package you deliver from point A to point B, and somebody else was handled. So not everybody was aware of the plan. They were being used
Just
as local contacts of one of the other. Take this person from this point to that point, drop him at that point. So such people, we kind of involved the community, and we did not book them because their mens rea, that is intention, was not that. So whenever we make arrest, we are very careful in going after only those people who have the intention of doing it. If somebody has been misused, we try and involve the community and try to take them out of this thing. We have a program, youth engagement program, very robust program, Yuva Sanj program, wherein even without module being busted by the police organization, we try to wean them away. Wherever we have found that these people have been in contact with or are in contact with such foreign-based handlers, then we try to, what we do is that we question them, we involve their parents and tell them that your child is getting involved in this kind of activity. So it is better that he doesn't, because these are very dangerous people. So there has been a very good amount of people that we have been able to wean away. That is why it is not so easy for them to get the foot soldiers, as we call them.
That's a human face of policing, sir. And sir, I was reading somewhere that this year, the Pahalgam attack took place and Operation Sindoor, obviously, then India-Pakistan cricket tension was going on. So is this, heavy influx of weapons related to Pahalgam and Operation Sindoor?
See, I'll give you a statistics.
Right.
I mean, out of the 362 small firearms which have been recovered this year, 107 of them have been post-Operation Sindoor. One. Right. Second, most of them are a part of large consignments. Hereby I mean 8 and above, right? But then there are several others which are 5 and above and 7. So that is a part of the statistical categorization that we do. But what we see is, yes, that there is heavy influx or attempts to push in large quantities of weapons. So ostensibly it is for sale. Some amount of money is generated, and it is quite considerable. But I'll take you back to May of 2021, when for the first time a very heavy consignment of small firearms was recovered, and that was about 50.
50, yeah, I remember saying.
And the person who was and this was the smugglers network and gangsters also involved in it, who later on we found were in working in active connivance with the terror groups also. So one of them, the main mastermind, was one person called Darman Kalo. As per our reports, he is under arrest in USA for some crime that must have been committed over there. So yes, all these channels work together.
And sir, who are these foreign handlers? I was reading in all the police briefs about the recovery of weapons. There was always a foreign handler who was calling the shots, organizing stuff.
See, foreign handlers, when we say, there are, number one, for example, Babar Khalsa International.
Right.
That is the organization which is at the forefront in terms of pro-Khalistan organizations. But then it is now being operationally headed by a person called Harvinder Singh Rinda, who reportedly has been provided safe haven in Pakistan. And he has several contacts, as we call them his kind of, who are working together with him, and who are supposed to find out the foot soldiers, use their contacts for ultimately the receipt of such weapons and armaments and executing terror attacks. So in North America, particularly Canada and America, USA, then in certain parts of Europe, UK is also there, a few of them are in UK, then in Germany, Portugal, and so many other parts, even in Middle East. Earlier there was a large number of presence in Southeast Asia also, but now we see it mostly in these parts. There are one or two somebody would be in Australia also, but mostly, as I said,
they're all over the globe.
They are spread, yes.
And sir, are these countries where they are hiding, or their citizens even? So, do we talk with them? Is this possible that they can be extradited, or are they being spotted there?
We are working in very close coordination with the central agencies, and there have been success stories. You must have heard that Harpreet Singh alias Happy Pasya, who is a very important part of this network of Harvinder Rinda Group. He was recently arrested in USA. There have been other arrests in USA, and other legal channels are being followed by the central organized agencies, and hopefully, yes, there will be deportations, etc. Yes.
Are these weapons meant for the Lawrence Bishnoi, the Bambiha gang, and others?
Yes, of course. I mean, Lawrence Bishnoi gang is no different from any other gang, right? In the sense that these are people also involved in extortions and everything. See, many of these foreign-based handlers, as I said, I mean, invariably they are not here for the ideology. Unlike what one would say ideology in terms of Khalistan, right? Most of them are here for the sake of money. So they are not only involved in transshipment and in carrying out of attempts to carry out terror attacks, but also in other kind of activities like extortion, etc., etc. You must have heard about one person called Arshdeep Singh alias Arshdallah. So Canada. He was involved, yes, in Canada, and he was involved in both kind of activities. So there were many an extortion call by him, and then there were a few few terror attacks that were directly orchestrated by him. So you would find that kind of thing with most of these.
So, sir, you spoke about gangsters and narco terrorism. How are these things connected?
You see, till the other day, we were of the assessment that there is a twin attack in terms of one, narcotics, which is being sent in huge quantities from across the border, which is very, very well known and very well documented. And then there was the terror attacks for which we talked about, the militant hardware being sent from across the border for facilitation of such crimes. Then the third thing, which is emerging very, very strongly, and now it has to be accounted for, it has to be taken in that perspective, is the pushing in of the small firearms, which I was stressing upon earlier. Now all these three things, now what happens is with narcotics, what are they trying to do? Narco terrorism, many times people think that the money for the narcotics trade is being used to directly facilitate the terror crimes. But now look at it this way, that besides that, what it is also doing is destroying a generation. So it is narco attack that ways and being deliberately being pushed into Punjab is a phenomenon, right? Second, of course, a militancy background and the attempts to revive it. But then what you are also doing is criminalizing a whole area. I mean, small little crimes, as I said, getting converted into violent crimes. And once you get involved in a violent crimes, then it is very difficult for an individual involved to get out of that system, right? In the sense that if he is arrested, either it is a case of attempt to murder or murder, as the case may be, and then there is a rigorous punishment, and so small fisticuffs, etc., that one would have in the earlier days, that are student related crimes, they are all getting converted into this kind of thing. So look at the combined impact of the three things.
So for the individual crime, there is a whole organized network which is supporting them.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that, and that is why we are now vigorously after this thing, after this particular phenomenon, to check this very effectively.
And sir, my last question would be that how assured should the public feel because of the recovery of these arms, that police was managed to recover them, or there is a fear that many weapons passed?
See, the challenge is enormous. Second thing is that it is coming from across the border, so the border belt, 7 police districts of Punjab, they are very, very sensitive. Third thing would be, so far as the public is concerned, without public support, no police organization in the world can counter such a vigorous attack or this kind of phenomenon. So for that purpose, you had spoken about second line of defense earlier. So police in conjunction with BSF, we do our analysis, and accordingly we have deployed force. CCTV cameras have been deployed. Government has recently, the state government has given us recently 3 ADS and anti-drone system, and more are likely to come. So with all these things, we are trying to check this kind of, drone activity. But then we have also involved the local population, village defense systems in all the villages in the entire state we have, and the kind of participation that is there of retired paramilitary and defense people from that kind of background also. So there is, you see, no drone that is coming in. Somewhere or the other, somebody has knowledge of it, right? People also may have an idea that who is involved, because the people involved in this kind of trade mostly would be living beyond their means. So to help police in generating the human intelligence is very, very important. And that is why our cooperation, coordination with police, with the public is very important, and public has a responsibility towards it. Police on its part, for example, you must be aware that Yudh Nasha Virudh campaign is going on, and helplines have been set up for that purpose, and on a daily basis that is being monitored from the very top, that is in terms from by the DGP Punjab himself, and everyday accounting is being taken off in terms of various aspects related to it from the public call, and a very sizable number of such public information by the public or complaint by the public have been converted into registered cases, and arrests have been made. Secondly, for organized criminal activities also, recently helpline has been set up. The caller, the identity of the caller is being kept anonymous, so that I mean, he or she may not feel that there's always a feeling of being targeted if their name gets revealed. So that
is compromised.
So taking care of their hesitation and everything. So this is a fight that we all have to fight together, because it is for Punjab. It is for the safety and future of Punjab.
Well, thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for answering most of our queries. We know that you can't discuss operational details.
Thank you so much, Jupinderjit. I have tried to explain in broad contours. Of course, you are aware that certain operational details, because of their very nature, cannot be discussed on an open platform. But yes, the important point is to note the broad contours and how to go about it.
And how Punjab Police is there for the security and safety of the public. Well, this was Under Investigation, Crime Show with Jupinderjit. I am your host, Jupinderjit Singh. Please continue watching this show. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment and be very responsible with your comments. Please continue reading the Tribune. Please continue watching a lot of other channels or shows which we bring to you.